want to hand the mic to Lamar Wilson, and that's all I'm trying to do. Lamar Wilson, remind us of what your session is called.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
So if you've been on for the past couple of weeks, I've been focusing on a segment that I've been really spending a lot of time with personally. It's called Building Strong Children While Fixing Broken Men. So last 4 weeks, I've been talking about the father's side of what I was dealing with. But so for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to focus on my mother's side. And I want to call this Mama's Boy. And so, I want to paint the picture for everybody today. Yeah, it was in the summer 1990, apartment, Queens, and Astoria, New York. My mom's blasting Bell Biv DeVoe, Poison, Whitney Houston, I'm Your Baby Tonight. I mean, she got the windows open in the living room because we didn't have a living room set, and she got the speakers, the DJ speakers, because my brother's DJ back in the days. She's blasting it. And I just came home from being outside. I turned on the Super Nintendo. All I hear is Monty. Now, the music blasted, but my mom, she know how to talk over. She's not screaming. She's just talking regular, right? I'm like, come on, man. Mario just started up. I went to go see what she asked. She's like, go to the store for me and give Tony the note and take $1 for yourself. And I'm like, and she's like, don't look in the bag. Don't ask what's in the bag. Don't stop for none of your friends. Go straight there, straight back. And it's the first. And now I'm hearing my mom say this. Now, I've never been able to go to the store by myself. I always went. When my mom had that, when we get to the store, don't you ask for nothing. That was her model, right? So this was the first time my mom's like, she's like, go to the store for me. Like, she trusts me enough to go to the store. And I'm geek, y'all. I'm geek. Like, going to the store and I'm getting $1. I'm good, right? And so I don't know if I was more hyped about going to the store by myself or that she gave me $1 and I could spend it anyway, so she can't dictate how I spend my $1. You know what I'm saying? And so I put my sneakers back on. My mom stopped me at the door. She said, because I was so focused on it, she said, you go to the payphone, you make sure there's no cars, cross the street, Tony's waiting for you, right? I saw my friends when I came downstairs. Yo, you coming back outside? I'm like, nah, I got to go to the store. I kept it pushing, right? And then as I'm walking, I'm already thinking, what can I do with this $1? I don't know what's in the bag. I don't know what she got me going for, nothing. I'm just like, all right, I'm going to get 5 pieces of candy, a bag of barbecue corn chips, a quart of juice, and a Little Debbie cake. Yup. I'm laser focused on that, right? I got to the payphone. I walked in the store, right? It's completely packed. Now, it was called the back store, but it was on the side of the projects, right? And in front of the store, you got drug dealers, you got people rolling dice, so I got to go through that. And then I got people in the store that's shopping. You got people playing numbers. You got Spanish people sitting there just drinking their beer, right? I find Tony. I give him the note. He said, stay at the door, right? As I'm still focused on what I'm getting. Tony come back. Tony gives me, he said, I called Miss Shirley, said to give you $1. Everything's in the bag. I told her how much change she got, so don't try to take anything extra, right? So by the time my man she said $1, my stuff was already on the counter. I was gone, right? So I grabbed the bags. I grabbed my bag. I grabbed my mom's bag. When I say I power walked home, I power walked, right? And I gave my mom the bag. I grabbed my bag. And my mom used to sit on one side of the table. That was her seat. So I decided, I'm like, I'll get to the game later because my mom really don't like us eating in the room. So I sit across from her, right? And as I'm pulling my stuff out, I'm seeing her pull her stuff out the bag, right? And what got me was she pulled out a Ballantine L. And some of y'all might know but it's beer. She pulled out a pack of Newports, bread, and cold cuts. Like, it hit me like a brick. Like, it hit. I sat back in the chair. I'm like, hold up. Yo, did I really just go to the store to buy beer? So my whole mindset was like, yo, I couldn't even think about the 5 pieces of candy, the barbecue chips, the juice, the cake, the video games. Like I'm like, not just and because it was so shocking to me. Like I'm like, it just came out of my mouth. This was the first time it came out. I'm like, I went and bought beer, Mom, and she said, and I remember her saying it. She said, "Don't you go to school saying that to nobody." I was 8 years old when this happened, and after that became normal for me to go to the store and pick up beer. It stopped being a note to give to Tony. It just started being a note for me, a list of stuff to pick up. Midnight Dragon, Valentine L, Newport's 100s, Cools. Then I started going to the store for Neighbors. That was like the normal. And it's crazy because like I got 3 boys, a 14-year-old, 12-year-old, and a 5-year-old, right? And my 14 and 12-year-old, they go hang out with their friends in the neighborhood. And they be like, "Oh, Dad, can we walk to McDonald's," which is about a drive is maybe about 5 minutes, a walk is maybe like 20, right? And because I'm like, no, I'll take you because I know what I had to walk past. See, when my mom sent me to the store, I don't think because she knew the neighborhood, she knew the drug dealers, they respected her. People respected each other back in the days. So she had that comfortability because we were all in 128 buildings radius, so everybody know their children. So if you getting out of line, that neighbor had the right to pop you. You start cursing in the street, you got popped. Something happened to you, Miss Shirley, right? But that's not like this here. So I was alert of the stuff that I had to walk past. Like I knew what I was dealing with as I walked. I knew I was going to walk past drug dealers, crackheads, people shopping. I knew that. And so when my children ask me, can we just walk to CV? I don't know what they walking past, and it's crazy because I realize I'm like, I look and I'm like, I'm saying to myself, my mom was okay with that. Than an 8-year-old, and I'm not for my mom. I love my mom. There's no disrespect to her at all. My mom got to a point where I don't know if she was already too nice when she was drinking to go to the store. I don't know. But what I do know, like, it became normal for not just me, but my friends living in that project to go to the store at that age. I couldn't see myself right now having one of my 12-year-old go to the store to pick up something. And I know we're in different times, but to me, when I look back, I think that's the first time I realized that I actually started paying attention to life when I started doing things on my own at 8 years old. BK, that's my time. I don't want to go over my time, but I spent some time last night breaking down. I got 3 more parts to this that I'm spreading out, but yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with that.
Bring us to because you brought us to a crescendo, but you didn't give us the conclusion. So that was the first time you realized, kind of talking about innocence lost, and you're giving this contrast between the way you were raised and the way you're raising your kids. And so give it to us. You're going to leave us high and dry. You know what I mean? Like,
sitting yesterday, remembering that day, it was probably one of the most impactful things in my life that I can remember being at age 42, going back to that day. I can tell you that it wasn't even that dark outside. It was like the lights came on. And if you know New York, and back in the days, BK, your mom would be like, once the lights go on, that's your time to come upstairs. But my mom was okay with that. And that's because, and it had me thinking last night, was she okay with that because it was benefiting? It was a give. If I send him to the store and I don't give him nothing, what is that? So let me give him something that will intrigue him more to go to the store for me. Or maybe my mom was already, she was already a beer in or 2 beers in. Yeah, she knew she couldn't walk to the store because my brothers was in and out of jail. So really, I was the only. I always say I was the only child with siblings, and so it questioned me last night a lot. But I'm not mad at my mom. I'm not looking at her different or anything like that. But I think that was the time where I started to realize how to handle myself in the streets.
Hey, Lamar, I resonate with your story, man, as you were speaking. Ain't there something, right? The first thing that came to my mind, Lamar, was Virginia Slim's Ultra Deluxe Menthol 100 and a 6-pack of Mickey's.
Virginia's was red and silver.
What?
Yep. Red, but
what? Lamar, I think it was, and we the same age, so, just looking at it, And I grew up in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. So, we the same age. So it sounds like, our moms were cousins, best friends or something like that.
Yeah.
But the era we grew up in, bro, because I pushed it up the street too for the Virginia Slims and the Mickeys.
Yeah. And, see, when my kid, I want to give my kids that freedom. I want to give them that trust to go to the store and come back and find, and that's great, because I can't keep hovering over them, at 14, 15, 16. I can't. I got to let them go. But, when you look back, if I told my story, somebody's like, your mom really let you out at 8 years old? But you understand that we lived in a 28-building area. It was 28 buildings. There were crackheads. There were molesters. There were people grabbing kids. And, like, I'm saying, it's like, what's crazy that my mom knew all these things that was going on. Kids were getting shot, like, kidnapped. And my mom's like, and she trusts me enough. And it questioned me, do I trust my son enough to make the right decisions if someone pulls up in a car or someone grabs him? And it had me thinking last night, there's some pieces I'm missing. There's some conversations I'm missing with my son. Am I make those conversations? Am I making those comfortable? Well, how do I present those conversations to my kids now? Because my son's in high school now. If a car pull up, the dad Lamar said, get in the car. I'm gonna. He want me to take you. He's want me. Is my son smart enough? I mean, he should know better. I mean, at this point, he knows better. But my 12-year-old, my 5-year-old. So to me, it had me thinking last night when I was writing my bullet points.
Yeah, Lamar, I appreciate your session, bro. And I think somebody was trying to get in. I'm going to be quiet, let them get in.
No, I think no, I was just going to say, you may have to explain to people what a phone booth is. Because most of these cats, what's that?
Back in the 90s, they had the payphone. We had it where in the projects, you stuck a quarter. If you stuck a quarter there, you could put 5 cents and you could have unlimited talk. That's just in the projects. Stuck the quarter and you just paid 5 cents and you on a phone. That payphone had a phone number. So you could get a beep and you're like, shorty, call this number, that's my number. And you had to get to that payphone. And you'd be surprised how many people lined up waiting to use that phone.
Hold on now. Hold on, you did it again.
Okay.
These people don't know what a beep. They don't know what a beeper is. What you talking about?
Yep.
That's a phone booth? Now you're talking about a beeper? You got to break these things down, my brother.
Gotcha. You're right. And that was a form of communication of, hey, I need you. And doctors to this day, some doctors still have that beeper. And there were certain codes in that beeper. 911, that means you get to a phone, you call me right now. My mom had codes. 143, I love you. The 911, we used to put 43110, turn it upside down, that said hello.
Yep.
That means I beat you 2 times. Boy, get your butt, wherever you at, get your butt home. If they were shooting, my mom had a code, 2705. That was the building. That means go home. But here's the thing, fellas. I watched growing up in that payphone, where the payphone was at, and people were standing there, the same way they were waiting for the payphone to use the phone. I remember I remember a drug dealer saying it. I overheard it where it was like, the same way I was waiting for the payphone on 8th Street, the same way I was waiting for the phone when I was on Rikers. I never forgot that conversation that guy said and he wasn't talking to me, he was talking, and I just heard it. I was like, what? And as I got older, I was like, man, it pops up in my head. I'm like, man, that was deep. That thought process. What were they trying to do? Because the idea is to get out the project, to get out. Was they formalizing like this is a jail? It doesn't need deep thinking and stuff, but it had me thinking. And that's why I said, like, I can't pour all this into week 1. So now next week, I got to be more detailed. And it's a learning process because I know we got some young people on here and they don't know what a cassette tape is.